Hi friends. Today we're taking a look at the Age of Apocalypse Magneto. You know how you imprison the mutant master of magnetism? Plastic. Let's help this guy out. Look at that. Several optional parts here. Artwork on the side. Not looking too shabby. And that is a great one with the hair all aflutter. Little bit of a read up there. Almost nothing. Wave mates. And you guys know what these packages look like, man. Please hold. Yeah. Some of these, it's like, why do you even cut it? Gently. Yeah. Homer, you're not listening. Head and hands and effects pieces. This is what you want. Right out of the package, I gotta say this thing looks fantastic. I also have got to say he looks just like a coworker of mine. Weird. But he's got the shoulder pads and the heavier style gauntlets, and it is on the traditional Magneto body, which works great for old Eric Lyncher here. Couple of places where the colors sort of change with the issue in the comics, so you just sort of have to pick your pony, and I am perfectly thrilled with this so far. Born Max Eisenhardt, the mutant master of magnetism has gone by many names, most notably Magneto, for his ability to control magnetic fields and manipulate metal. He is a survivor of the Nazi death camps, and as such, has seen the worst of humanity. When Magneto, then going by the name Eric, met Charles Xavier, a fellow mutant, he scoffed at the idea of peaceful coexistence between humans and the mutant minority. Though they possessed differing ideologies, they both believed in easing the suffering of the weak and marginalized. While volunteering at a hospital in Israel, Charles would sacrifice his life to save his new friend from a violent attack. Humbled and forever changed by Xavier's selflessness, Magneto would do his best to honor his friend's dream of coexistence. But in a world dominated by the despot Apocalypse, Magneto would form his X-Men. Magnetic Tempest! Alright, for aesthetic appeal, this Magneto looks fantastic. Even though really, this is just a new head and a new cape, everything else is reuse. All the way back from that Uncanny X-Men, the more modern take on Magneto, the heavier gauntlets and boots. Those feet are from the House of X Magneto. That belt is from the 90s. Where do those shoulder pads come from? Maybe those are new. But man, does he look mean, right? Getting a little closer here. Let's just, this number. Look at that head. The paint is just a little blurry when you get in there close. A little rough around the edges. And sadly, mine is all chipped up around the collar. Several places. You know what I mean? Like maybe they were having a little fun at the factory before they put him in. Oh, hey. Behold. Cape is really well sculpted. No washes or anything, but everything that's here looks really nice. These sweet little, his braids and such. He's got this variation. He's letting his hair grow out. The helmet is nice and mean. He's got his little crest there. The eyes are sort of rolled back, whited out, using his powers, how they would sort of cloud over like that. And these are a soft piece in there, and it's part of the cape. Yeah, okay. Of course it is. And this cape doesn't really peg in. You know, that's kind of new. He does have a peg hole because of the body reuse. But this is a fine Magneto body. I do love the wrinkles. It's like they are wearing clothes, man. It's not just painted on. And again, the heavier gauntlets, as this is how he most often appeared in the AOA stuff, which was technically sort of evolving as they were drawing it. Just so high on cocaine. Shockwave! Eric. We have seen this body before, but it is mixed in a new and unique way with some extra parts. So let's check out this articulation. The head is, as always, on a ball with a hinge here, So you can't actually force that back because the hair is pretty soft. You get decent range for all this hair, really. It's gonna kick out all crazy on you. I mean, so do what you like with it, but you even get a bit of tilt there. That is nice. Shoulders are ball jointed. Shoulders come up to the arms come up to about here, and they will rotate all the way around. This would impede them in a static position, but it does move because it's not pegged in. Bicep cut, get those going all the way around. Double jointed elbows, but this heavy gauntlet, he doesn't really get past a 90 there. Fists are on a hinge. Bit stiff, this one. But yeah, you know how those work. That one tends to want to unsocket, but we'll get it there. Ab crunch here. Crunches all the way in half pretty much. Leans back really well too. Waist, he does have the full waist swivel there, and this nice soft belt hides that. Thighs. Got this upper thigh cut. Legs kick forward this far. Back. He's got this nice spandex clad butt. Double jointed knees. Again, the armor prevents him from coming. You could force that, but who really cares, right? And we do have the coveted calf cut. How about that? That'll turn all the way around for you. Big fat rocker ankles. This giant hinge. All the way around there. Looks real twisted and beat up here. Were you to take that off and see what's going on, you can get that cape out of the way, but yeah. Fancy AOA cape. And you see the back is all marred up too. That's just a little bit of crud. Picked that up somewhere. I don't know. But it's not like I took him outside and threw him around on the concrete. You know what I mean? Nothing of the sort. This is a pretty sterile environment. I'm a grown-ass man playing with toys in his toy room. Man, it is a really nice figure. He looks really well done. Super pleased. Playtime has ended. For accessories, I have been pretty liberal, swapping them as I go, as it pleases me. This will be mostly his preferred look, I believe, as he does come in package with the unhelmeted head, comes with fisted and open hands, and these sad little power effects. Come on. I mean, it's definitely cool. I dig the cleared, the translucent colored plastic route for power effects. We're just not quite hitting it with Magneto. I've had some good luck combining some other stuff, and purple does come up, and I think it's kind of my go-to for my 90s Magneto. I was using the effects from the more modern Magneto, but looking at the comics again, a lot of the 90s stuff, it's sort of that light blue, and I mean I've got a whole drawer of these greasy power effects, so it's great. I mix and match as needed. Eric, who does your hair? The other head sculpt is really nice. The hairstyle carries through. He's got this face that is fairly accurate. I just can't get over the just disturbing likeness to this guy Jack. These power effects they're a bit silly though. They're just more suggestive. Nothing very intense, but it creates this little low-key effect. It's fine. Sure, he's manipulating magnetic fields and whatever. Sure he is. Size-wise, he's hitting right about 6 5/8. Magneto's supposed to be like 6'2". I mean, depending on what iteration, how tall the body grows. Does that cloned body grow to the same maximum? Is it diet-based? Does he have a good diet? He's probably getting enough iron. They say that the Marvel Legends run a little tall for their supposed scale. So that tracks, I suppose. We'll kick off the figure comparisons with Big Head Billy and the Bright White Knight. A couple of more modern iterations of Magneto, and they all share the same body sculpt, and here's where you can see the reuse of the gauntlets and boots. But take note, they actually pulled those feet from the fellow on the right. And they all feature unique heads and capes. I like how they all experiment with different styles of pegging the cape as well. I think this new one is the best of all. It doesn't really peg in, but it sits great, and maybe it's helped by that hair sculpt, and they thought perhaps best not to whatever. Here he is with the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure. And the Magneto from right off of my shelf, it is the Family Matters 3-pack Magneto with the head from the Jubilee Build-A-Figure wave. If anyone here knows what I'm talking about, those heads were just, they weren't bad, except for how weird and tall the helmet was. Let's just get him in there on an almost unrelated note, except it is related because they are Magneto. I know, now he's going to make it focus and he's going to have to touch all the heads right in our faces. What went wrong here, guys? They got too concerned with building that crest all big, and it's just not right. It's just not right. If you could swap a helmet, I mean, I guess that crest is a little crazy too. Never mind. These are all crazy. And now here he is with the Super High Lord and the Snarling Sabertooth. Oh, these look great together. This is what it's all about. The synergy. More Age of Apocalypse favorites, Weapon X, and the recently reviewed Rogue. Really nice contrast here with the short, stocky Jimmy Howlett and the female form of Anna Marie. This is what everybody came here to see, man. Just a bunch of Age of Apocalypse figures all standing next to each other. A powerful leader in his own right, he was no Charles Xavier, and could not pull together and hang on to Cyclops and Marvel Girl. Here he is next to Charles Xavier, the man who challenged his thinking, and David Haller, the man who changed everything. And here he is next to Enough. So, in summary, I am stoked on this figure. Perfect example of proper reuse. Couple of new pieces, but nothing is sacrificed in the way of the aesthetic. It looks just like the comic. Minor articulation gripes like butterfly shoulders aside, I love that he comes with an extra head, extra pair of hands, power effects. However, I do feel they are lacking in general, maybe a back to the drawing board thing for Magneto, but what would you do to properly represent this thing? It's something like a deluxe package with like a bubble shield, big time magnetic effects. Otherwise, what we have is fine. What I have in this drawer over here makes it more so. I love this thing. I would give this a 4.5 out of 5. Stoked to have it. Every pose I put it in is gold. As always, I want to thank everyone for being here on this journey with me. Take care of yourselves and each other.
I was a child, my people talked while others prepared for war. They used reason while others used tanks, and they were destroyed for their trouble. I won't stand by and watch it happen again. I won't!